What if every doorway you walked through told the story of kings, queens, and centuries of power? At Westminster Abbey, they do. This isn't just a church, it's where history has been made for 1,000 years. Since 1066, 40 monarchs have been crowned here, and it's the final resting place for some of Britain's most influential figures. The events that unfold here don't just reflect history, they shape it. I'm Katie Wignall, London Blue Badge tourist guide. Join me on a fascinating journey through Westminster Abbey, home to the oldest surviving door in England. Together we'll walk through these historic divides between two worlds, some seen and some waiting to be discovered. I'm standing in front of the royal entrance to Westminster Abbey, the Great West Door. Just imagine who's passed through here, and now we get to be part of that same story. From medieval kings to modern monarchs, generations of royalty have passed through this door to be crowned, wed, and immortalised. Today, worshippers enter through it for services and visitors leave through it, but that's about to change. Construction is underway to reinstate the sacristy, a room traditionally used for the storage of sacred items and where priests prepared for services. Once completed, it will allow visitors to follow in the footsteps of kings and queens by entering through the royal entrance. On the other side of this door is the main body of the church known as the nave. It's the largest part of the building at just over 50 metres or 166 feet in length and over 30 metres, that's 102 feet high. As we step through this historic doorway, we don't just enter a building, we walk into 1,000 years of devotion, history, and the enduring story of a nation. The highest internal door in Westminster Abbey is the one in the Lantern Tower, which sits at the heart of the building above the crossing, the area where the transept and choir intersect. I'm up in the roof space, 42 metres or 140 foot above the Abbey floor, and behind me is the Lantern Tower door. Let's open it and have a look at the view. Whoa. Wow. I'm generally okay with heights, but this is very high. And looking down, you can see the chandeliers. Now they are 3 metres, about 10 foot tall, and they look absolutely tiny. Westminster Abbey's lantern has a rich architectural history with 4 major stages. A tower is shown on the Bayeux tapestry as part of Edward the Confessor's Norman building. By the 13th century, it was a Gothic timber and stone structure, part of Henry III's rebuilding of the church, designed to flood the crossing with natural light. Over the following centuries, the lantern saw various repairs and updates, reflecting changing styles and the needs of the building. By the early 20th century, it featured a lead-covered pyramid roof that combined medieval craftsmanship with later restorations. During a wartime bombing raid in May 1941, an incendiary bomb struck the lantern roof. The wooden timbers and lead cladding ignited, collapsing the lantern onto the choir below. After the war, architect Stephen Dykes-Bauer rebuilt a new lantern ceiling above the crossing. This repaired the wartime damage, restoring structural integrity and returning the Abbey's central light source to its pre-Blitz function. The high altar of Westminster Abbey, where kings and queens have been crowned and married. It stands as a symbol of the past, present, and future of Christian belief. reminding worshippers of Christ's sacrifice, his presence, and the promise of eternal life. Directly behind it lies the shrine of Saint Edward the Confessor, who founded an abbey here. And this discreet door is the threshold to that holy place. The present altar screen was designed by Sir George Gilbert Scott in the 1860s, and the glass in his original doors were plate glass, allowing a clear view into the chapel beyond. These were replaced in the 1960s, and the lower sections were covered in wood panelling, added by the Abbey surveyor Stephen Dykes-Bower. Edward the Confessor was not just a king, he was a holy man who was canonized as a saint in 1161. Pilgrims once journeyed for days, even weeks, to kneel at his shrine. They came in search of healing, forgiveness, or a glimpse of the divine. It is a pilgrimage still undertaken today. This is where the royal couple signs the marriage register. It's also used as a retiring room during the coronation, where the monarch changes their robes and crown. But one detail that I love in this door is this little peephole, where you can look through and see the Cosmati pavement and the abbey beyond. And it's easy to imagine the monarch just taking a pause here and reflecting before continuing out for the ceremony. It might appear modest, but this door leads to one of the most sacred spaces in the abbey. Crossing its threshold is to step into centuries of devotion, ceremony, and memory. It is to enter the very soul of England's spiritual story. In the cloisters, a space built for monks to read, pray, and exercise, you can find a doorway that leads to Westminster Abbey's library and archives. This doorway used to lead to the monks' dormitory, but the monastery was dissolved in 1540 during the Reformation, and the space was converted into a library. Few have seen what lies beyond here, but we're about to. Whilst walking up these steps, you are hit with the most intense book smell imaginable. There are approximately 14,000 books in the library collection, which include theological texts, historical chronicles, and royal records. One of the oldest items is a medieval book of beasts from 1250. At the back of the room is a spiral staircase which leads to the muniment room. The documents held there include the records of Westminster Abbey from the 10th century to the present day. From the balcony in the muniment room, you get a great view of some really special parts of the abbey. This beautiful courtyard, which sits under the West Towers, has numerous ancient doorways. Today we're going through this door that leads to the deanery, where the dean lives and works. And though we're not sure of the exact date of this door, it does have a very rare surviving medieval door knocker. And I love the detail of this bell. Let's open it and see what's inside. These rooms are rarely seen by the public. They're quiet, functional spaces where the clergy prepare for services. Just beyond them lies the Jerusalem Chamber, a room that was built in the 1300s. In 1413, King Henry IV was preparing to lead a pilgrimage to the Holy Land. And so he was praying at the shrine of Saint Edward the Confessor when he collapsed, probably a stroke. He was carried here and laid by the fire. When he woke up, he asked where he was. Jerusalem, they said, of course meaning the Jerusalem Chamber. But according to the old chronicles, the king believed in a prophecy that he was to die in Jerusalem. And at that moment, he believed his time had come. Shakespeare even brings this moment to life in Henry IV, Part 2, adding a dramatic twist where Prince Henry tries on the crown while his father still lives. It's a powerful story, both historical and theatrical, that makes this room truly unforgettable in the Abbey's history. For me, every door tells an incredible story of kings and poets, of the ordinary and the extraordinary. So the next time you stand before a door, remember it's not just an entryway, but a gateway to endless possibilities.